Building a professional website, it's an important part of any business. And I'm sure you already know that because you're here. Now, for some people, it's a piece of cakes. Others, it's rocket science. There's tons of tutorial online on how to build websites and different, elements. The problem that this can be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. If you know what you're looking for, it's a great thing. But if you don't, you're gonna get lost. So I created this video mainly for my clients and anybody that's thinking about building their own website or even hiring a developer to do it. So you can get educated on where to start and what's important for your website and what's not. So I created basically the 6 steps to ensure that you're going to end up with a professional website that's going to serve your business well. So let's get started. Hello, my name is Adam. I'm with Websites Makeover. We've been in business for over 10 years, building websites and maintaining them. This video is basically going to give you the 6 steps to building a successful website using WordPress and Elementor. But if you're not planning to build your website using WordPress, these steps will still work because it doesn't matter which platform, you still need to plan, to set up, design, optimize, social, and marketing. Now, if you don't know what WordPress is, it's basically a website builder. It's an open source, meaning it's free, but it's a very popular way to build websites. And over 30% of the websites that you see online nowadays, they're built using WordPress. So if you're brand new, WordPress would be the way to go. You can build information website with WordPress. You can build e-commerce websites. So there's a lot of flexibility there. As far as Elementor, you see, the good thing about WordPress, it comes with the ability that that you can install on WordPress extensions and plugins that will enhance the features in WordPress. And Elementor is one of these extensions. It's a third-party application. They have a light version and they have a paid version with more features, which will allow you to basically control all aspects of design and functionality of your website with pretty much zero coding. It's a drag and drop once you learn it. So the first step is planning. There's a saying that says if you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. So it's important for any project to make sure that you have a clear plan of where you're going. The second step would be the setup, which is mainly the technical portion of the project in terms of installing the platform, installing the the page builder, and set up all the different elements. The third step would be the design, which is to ensure that you have created your logo, your color, your theme colors for your brand, your favorite icon, which is the icon that will show up on the top browser, any business photos that you want to use, any videos. Fourth step would be the optimization. You see, having a website by itself, it's not enough. The website needs to be secured. It needs to be fast. It also needs to be optimized for SEO, which is search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is basically the algorithm or the system that Google use to determine which website rank on the first page and which website doesn't. So I will go over this. The fifth step is the social media, which obviously you know how important it is to any business, and depending on the business, some businesses they need Facebook, some others it would be better if they have Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. Now keep in mind, depending on the reason why you want to have a website, if you're selling services or products, then all this is not going to mean anything unless you do marketing, because you can build the best websites in the world, but if nobody can reach it or nobody knows about it, then it's not going to serve the purpose. So marketing is a crucial part of the website. Now, planning. In the planning process, there's few questions you want to ask yourself, like what are your website goals, who's your target audience, and what is your unique selling proposition, which I'll go through in more details. Also, you want to secure a domain name, which I'll explain what that is. You want to make sure that you purchase web hosting and SSL certificate. You want to create your design elements and create the website content as well. So let's start with the website goals. Website goals, it's going to be different for each person, depending on the line of business they're in, depending on the reason why they want to have a website. Some people, they want to create a website to market their business, to generate basically new leads, or even to re-engage with their existing customers. Some people, they want to make sure that they basically communicate their message through their website to their customers, to explain their selling process, or to show them the features and benefits of their service or products. Some people, they want to focus on customer service. Some people, they want to attract basically new employees or give support to current ones. And the reason why this is important to know upfront, because if you're hiring a company to do your website, or a freelancer to do your website, he's going to ask you how many pages you want to have. So this will help you. Like, for example, if it's important for you to generate a new employees, then you need to have a career page. If your main target is to do marketing, then you want to make sure that the website will have a clear to action function there. So that's why all this is important. Target audience. Now, this is also very important while building the website. You should be able to define what's the demographic for your audience in terms of age, gender, and income. What's their profession, their psychographics, and in terms of their interests, their values, their challenges. Because the essence of marketing is people's perception of your product or service. So basically, it's how people want to see your products or service. And since your website is going to be your presentation online for that, you want to make sure that this website is presented in the way that your customers or your potential customers want to see it. So, as an example, if you're targeting young crowd, you want to make sure that your website have cool colors, it have nice animation, it's exciting. If, let's say, you're targeting older crowd, you want to make sure that you have less animation, more subtle images, maybe bigger fonts. So all these things makes it different in the way that you want to present the website. The selling proposition. Every company should have a unique selling proposition. Basically, it's regardless of what service or product you provide, there's others providing pretty much the same thing in your area. So what's going to help you sell more is to be able to communicate to your customers through your website is that we are better than everybody else because we do this, or we present this. As an example, for my website, when I built this business, I realized that there's a lot of freelancers, there's a lot of big web design companies. So my goal was to provide professional websites that are affordable and in a timely manner. Because I realized in the market that I'm in, there's professional companies, but they're usually very expensive and they take 2-3 months to complete a website. There's freelancers they're very affordable. They build a website for $200, but you're gonna end up with something not professional, and sometimes they take 2 months. And there's people that will build it in a day, but it's not gonna be professional and affordable. So my goal was to give my web design service to include basically the three elements that I saw that are important to the client, which is to have a professional website, which entails a lot of details, to make sure that it's affordable, and to make sure that we get it done fast, that most of our websites are built within 1 week or 2 weeks. Now let's start with the domain name. So every website on the web, it has something called domain name. Domain name is, you want to think about it as, for example, your physical location, street address, is how people, is able to find you if they want to come to your location. Same thing is a domain online. So for example, if Google domain name is google.com, so when people want to visit Google website, they type in google.com. Facebook is the same thing. So Facebook have a website, and in order to land on this website, you need to type in facebook.com, and that's what a domain is, as simple as possible. Now the domain usually ends with extensions. They call these extensions. It can be a .com, .net, .info, and there's a lot more that you can purchase, and you decide basically what is it going to be. Whenever you go and purchase a domain, you can choose if it's a .com or .net or .info, but you always try to get the .com one is if it's available, for two reasons. One, people are more familiar with .com. Second, Google and search engines, they typically favor .com over any other extensions in terms of ranking it high on Google. Now, obviously, most of the good domains, they're already purchased, they're already gone. So whenever you go to purchase your domain, you're not gonna find something like webdesign.com, for example. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that you create a list of possible names that you would like to have. This way, if one name is not available, then you can add another one. And you keep in mind that you can always add something to the name to see if it's available. Like, for example, if your company name is John Smith and you want to get johnsmith.com, is not available, you can put excuse me. So if your company name is John Smith and you want to get johnsmith.com and it's not available, somebody else already bought it, you can try john-smith.com. You can type in I, the letter I, and then johnsmith.com. If, let's say, if you're in Southern California, you can, and I'm looking to do, I have a website design company, and webdesign.com is taken. You can try, for example, webdesign SC, Southern California.com. So you can be creative on the name until you find the one that works for you. Typical, things that you want to keep in mind whenever you purchase a domain, keep it short. Always think about your customers. Nobody want to, type in a long domain. So keep it short and simple, easy to remember for people. You can use keywords in the name. You don't have to always use your company name. You can use keywords. And a keyword is basically the simplest way to think about it. If you were to be one of your customers and you're looking for the services or products, or the main service or product that you sell, what would you search? What would you type in online on Google? Whatever you type in, that would be a keyword. So, for example, if I'm a website design company, I'm probably looking, to on Google to search for web design in my area. So that would be a good domain for me to grab. If it's, let's say, if I'm in Southern California, web design in Southern California, but it's kind of long. So maybe webdesignsc.com and see if that's available. Now, where you can buy it, there's a lot of companies online you can buy domains from. The biggest one, I think, it's GoDaddy. My recommendation is HostGator, though. The reason why is I'm affiliated with them. So if you purchase anything from them through my link below, I'll get commission. But no, really, the reason why is HostGator. They provide pretty much the same service as everybody else, but they're cheaper, and they're I've tried their hosting and their domain service. It's very fast and dependable. But this is your choice. Domains are typically about $12 per year, so they're not that expensive. But sometimes when you type in something that they call premium domain, let's say if the domain is really good, for example, red.com. This domain, it's going to be probably sold for thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. But most domains, they're about $12 per year. Now, the second thing you need in any website is called web hosting. Web hosting is basically the server that holds your website files, database, images, and videos, and make the website accessible to the World Wide Web. Excuse me. Now, there's different types of hosting. There's something called shared hosting, which basically it's a server with the company that you're going to purchase it from, but this server has many other clients as you, but these servers are basically separated, so they give you a portion of that server. So the speed of that server, it's going to be less than a virtual private server, that's what VPS stands for, or a dedicated server where you have your own space. But for 95% of websites, for businesses, shared hosting would be enough. When you want to go to VPS or dedicated, if you have a website that's going to have millions of traffic every month, or if you're planning to build a web application, complex web application, so you will need more resources. But shared hosting will do. Now, when you go to any of these companies, they're going to have different plans with different pricing. The main thing you want to keep in mind or look for is the uptime, to make sure that the website uptime is at least 99.9%. The traffic bandwidth, which is how many people can visit your website at the same time without it going down. The control panel, to have an easy control panel that you can go and upload your files or manage your emails in the future. Some of them, they offer you one domain, which means that you can only build one website under specific plan. Some other plans allow you multiple domains or unlimited domains. Also, some plans offer you branded emails. For example, if your domain is websitesmakeover.com, then you can have info@websitesmakeover.com as your own domain, your own email. SSL Certificate, which is basically an extra layer of security on your website, which I'll discuss further in a minute. And also where you can buy it, the web hosting server, it's under the same companies that they sell the domains. Most of the companies that sell domains also sell hosting, and it's always better to buy your domain with the same company that you're buying hosting from. But it's not required. I mean, you can have your domain with GoDaddy and your hosting with HostGator, but it makes it easier for you. Basically, less steps if you do it all with one company. So any of these will do. Usually, as far as pricing, GoDaddy, they're expensive. HostGator is the cheapest one that I could find with the quality that they provide. So if you sign up with them for 3 years, I think roughly it comes down to $3 or $4 per month, which they give you, I think, unlimited domains. You can have free SSL certificate. They'll give you branded emails, as many as you want. So there's a lot of good options there. So what is an SSL certificate? An SSL certificate is basically it's a digital certificate that gives you an extra layer of security on your website that encrypts basically the data in and out of your website. This is, I mean, back in the days, this was an option, or it didn't even exist. But then, they introduce it as an option, but now it's kind of required. And it does affect, besides the security, it does affect your ranking. I mean, apple to apple, Google will rank a website that have SSL over a website that doesn't. And it's easy to know which website has it and which doesn't. If the domain starts with HTTPS and it has this S, that's mean it does have the SSL certificate. And if it doesn't, that's mean it doesn't have it. And usually the one that has the HTTPS, it's gonna have on the browser to the left of it, it's gonna have a lock icon. Where the one that doesn't have SSL, it's gonna say not secured in Chrome browser. So it's very important to have that, and you can purchase it from the same hosting company. But like I said, if like HostGator, for example, it's already included in the hosting package that they have. But also there's another famous company that does that. It's called Let's Encrypt, which they offer it for free on any type of hosting. But obviously it's going to be more step to connect it to your hosting. So it's always better to get it from your own hosting company. It's easier configuration. The design elements. So the design elements, I'm going to give you the required items that you need to have. Obviously, you need to have a logo. You want to make sure that you have a transparent copy, high resolution. You want to have a favorite icon. Fav icon is basically the icon that you see, like whenever you visit any website. If you look in the top left corner, you'll see the icon of that website, and that's what it shows. For Facebook, you'll see Facebook logo and so on. The social logo, like whenever you create a Facebook fan page and you want to upload your logo, if I upload my logo the way it is right now, it's gonna be cut off. And the reason why, because most social media companies, they require you to upload a square logo. So usually what I do whenever I create my assets, I make sure that I have a copy of my logo that it's in a square. This way whenever I upload it, it looks good. Also, you want to make sure that you have, if you're running a business, make sure that you take pictures of your business. It's always better to use your own pictures rather than using stock images. It's good to have videos as well. And the reason why this is important, because Google, they do have their own ranking in terms of images and videos. So if you use stock pictures, it's not going to help you much, because this stock picture is probably being used hundreds of times online. But if you upload your own images and your own videos, Google sees that this is a unique image or unique video that's never been uploaded, so they're going to rank it accordingly, which helps your overall website ranking. Now, the brand colors, always keep in mind that any website, the colors or the theme of the website have to follow the logo. So everything, looks good. Now, how can you create all this? There is a lot of services online, for designers that can help you create it. But if you want to build your own, you can use Photoshop, or you can use this company. It's called Canva.com. I also have an affiliation with them, which I'll leave the link at the bottom. And it's very easy. They do have a free version. So if you just go there, you sign up for free, and then you can simply create. It's going to ask you, what is it you want to create? You just click on logo. And there's a lot of templates there. In the near future, I'll be creating, video tutorials on how to purchase hosting, domains, and design a logo and all these. But in this video, I just wanted to give you an overview on how you plan your website. And this is especially going to help you if you're planning to have somebody build it for you. This way, you're educated. You already know that if your developer or your designer didn't ask you for certain things that now that are important, maybe he's not competent enough, or maybe he missed them. You want to make sure that you remind them. Also, one thing you want to keep in mind that a lot of developers miss is to optimize the images and videos. Meaning is, some people, they take a picture with their phone and they upload it directly to the website. The problem with that is that these pictures are very high resolution. And the file size, it's very big, that when you upload these pictures to the website, along with everything else in the website and all the other images, it overloads the website and makes it slower. So you always want to make sure that you only upload the size that you're going to use in the website. For example, if I'm only going to use this size of my logo in my website, I don't need to upload a logo this big. So always keep that in mind. Make sure that your images are optimized and for that. And in Canva, whenever you, let's say, download a logo or anything that you want to use, there is an option to optimize them, to basically decrease their sizes. Also, another important thing that will help you with SEO, and that's the way basically of the way we think about it when we build a website, because everything that you do as you're developing the website affects the security, affects the speed, affects the SEO. Like for example, this part right here affects the speed and SEO. This part right here affects the SEO, which is to make sure to rename the images. Whenever I see a lot of developers also make this mistake, is that they upload the image without renaming the image. Like for example, if I'm uploading an image of a logo, you want to make sure that this file name is called logo. And the reason why, because Google can read that, and they will rank that based on whatever you upload. So if you upload it and the file name is a bunch of codes or numbers, it's not going to help you much, and it's an easy step to do or miss. Same thing, there's something called alt text, which is alternative text that has to do with the images, which with WordPress and any other platform, whenever you upload an image, there is a field there that they will allow you to add basically a description. It's called alternative text, which you can describe what this image is. So whenever you upload images to your website, if you're uploading, let's say, 3-4 people in a business meeting, and the file name is, it's just numbers, make sure that you rename that file name business meeting and then upload it. So use keywords basically in those images. It will help your ranking. The content. In my line of business, content is king. So the more content, original content that you have in your website, the more chances that you will have website good ranking, that your website will rank well basically on Google. Now keep in mind one thing, that do not copy content from any other website, because Google can recognize duplicate content, and they know which content was deployed first on which website. So they will penalize your website in terms of SEO if you copy and paste. Always create your own original content. And also, I always ask my customers, whenever they ask me, okay, I need a website, I ask them, how many pages you want to have? Because keep in mind that the number of pages that you're going to have in the website, if besides the fact that we need it so we can build those pages, it does affect the pricing. It affects how much I'm going to charge you to build your website, because obviously the more pages that you're going to have, the more effort and time it's going to take us to build this website. Therefore, it's going to translate into money. So always have a list. And if you remember the goals and the proposition and all what we discussed earlier, the planning stage, it's going to make it easier for us to know that, okay, a homepage is basically the landing page. This is a must in any website. Any website you go to, like whenever you go to google.com, whatever you see there, the search bar, that's their homepage. When you go to facebook.com, the first thing that you see, that's a homepage. So the homepage is very important. Most people, they're not going to go past the homepage. So make sure that the homepage has the message, the call to action, the one that you want to communicate to your client, the social proof, the benefits, all that should be on the homepage. But like a brief, you know what I mean? It's the hook that you want to make sure that you grab their attention so they can read more, so they can contact you, whatever your goal is. About us page is usually it's an important page on the website, which should have a brief about your company, services or products, contact us page. And the contact us page, one thing you want to keep in mind is you always want to think like your customer think. Some people like to call and talk to a person. Some people like to text. Some people like to email. Some people like to use the contact form. So try to include as many ways of contact that is possible in your contact us page. That will help you basically generate more leads or generate more contacts. And as you can see, the idea here is some elements here, like the alternative text or the contact things, it seems like small thing, but when you put them all together, it makes a difference. That's what makes a professional website. Also, the legal pages. Most websites don't even have that. The privacy policy and terms and condition, it's, it makes your website more professional. It protects you also in the long run, and it's easy to generate them. If you just Google privacy policy generator, there's a lot of websites. Some of them are free that they will ask you a few questions about your business, and you'll be able to generate the text that you need for this page and just pass it to the developer or add it yourself. Now, in this stage, I'm not going to show you how to install WordPress, not in this video, but in the near future, I'll be creating basically a video while I'm building a website from scratch. But if you're familiar with the WordPress and if you're doing it right now, just things to keep in mind when you install WordPress, make sure you clean it up. Meaning that WordPress, whenever you install it, it comes with default pages and posts and plugins and themes. So make sure you delete anything that you're not going to use, because as an example, WordPress comes with a page called Hello World. I think it's a post called Hello World. I see a lot of developers or people that build their own website, they kept that page and it has sample text. The problem with that is whenever you launch or publish your website online, Google is going to index all your pages, meaning that they're going to show all your pages on their search engine. And that's if you're doing a good job on the SEO. And you don't want to have pages that don't mean anything, because like Hello World, it's not professional to have it. So little things make a difference. At the same time, whenever people click on Hello World and they go to your website and they're going to bounce off of that, that's going to hurt your SEO. So there's a lot of things. So whenever you install WordPress, you clean it up, you install your theme that will give you the overall look. You install your plugins. Plugins are, it's a great, basically, spot in WordPress that, let's say if you want to add certain functionalities, certain feature to your website that is not available in WordPress, you simply go to plugins, which is an extension of WordPress. All these plugins are created by third-party companies. Most of them, they have a light version that will do the job, and they have a paid version that will give you more features if you want to. So let's say if you want to add a chat box to your website, the one that you see here in the corner, WordPress doesn't come by default with that. But if you search for chat box, you'll find tons of plugins that does that. And this works for any other features that you want to have. Then you create the pages and the menu. And like I said, the reason why I put it here, because it's an important aspect or step of building a professional website. But I will show you more details in future videos. Same thing with the design. Once you set up WordPress, then you install Elementor. Then you create your header, your footer, and all your pages. And Elementor is, I'll be creating a lot more videos in the future just on Elementor. But I wanted to start with this video because it's important to know the overall plan, how everything should work. That's just the way I like to work personally, is to make sure that I plan everything and I know what to expect on each step. So you will need to install Elementor and use it to build your website. The optimization, same concept. You'll need to make sure that the website is secured, which there are plugins that you can install. Like there's a popular plugin called WordFence that you can install on WordPress using the plugins that we discussed. And they have a free version that will basically help a lot in the security and against spammers also. There's plugins also for search engine optimization. There's Yoast SEO and all-in-one SEO. Same thing for speed optimization and email notification. Email notification meaning sometimes you have a contact form on the contact us page, but you want to test it. You want to make sure that the server, because the emails sent through that form need to go to your email, but sometimes it doesn't. So you want to make sure that this is being tested and done. And each one of these items, I'm going to create a video on how to do it step by step in the near future. Social media. Now, some people hate it, some people love it, some people don't see the value in it. And I always tell my customers, think about your goals, the one that you set up at the beginning of this video. And if your goal is to market your website to generate more leads or sales or even HR, pretty much any goal that we mentioned before, then you need social media as a supportive, as an important part of your marketing plan, because basically you want to be where your customers are. Your customers, they're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, YouTube, on Google, and Yelp. If you're a local business, you want to make sure that that if you have a physical address, you want to make sure that you have a Google listing and Yelp listing. Encourage your people to, or your customers to, leave your reviews. If you have videos that you can shoot, that you can maybe of your business, of your operation, it's good to have a YouTube channel. Instagram, if you take a lot of pictures, that's a good platform. All this gives you more exposure, and it helps you build your brand. And like I mentioned before, also I'm going to be creating a video on each one of these, how to create them and how to optimize them and marketing. And Canva or Photoshop, you can create the cover page and the design elements and assets for all of these. Last but not least, which is marketing. So they asked a millionaire one time. They told him, if we take all your money and give you $100, how would you spend it? He said, I'll spend $1 on the product and $99 on marketing. And I'm sure you already know how important is marketing. You can have the best website in the world, but if nobody knows about it, that doesn't matter. It just makes you feel good that you have the best website in the world. Now, there's 4 main types of marketing online. The first one is SEO. SEO is search engine optimization, which the main search engine that you need to care about is Google, because this is where the customers are. This is where people search. So SEO is basically Google. They whenever they created their search engines, they created also a system that they rank website based on that system. There's 2 types of SEO. There's something called on-site SEO, and there's something called off-site SEO. The on-site SEO is basically a lot of things that we already discussed, which is to make sure that your homepage have the right headers, you have the right meta title, meta description, you have the keywords. When you upload images, rename them, put the alt text, make sure the website is secured, it's fast, it has SSL certificate. So basically they want to make sure that your website meet their standard. And if you just do the on-site SEO, with time your website will rank. It will take longer time if you don't do the off-site SEO, but it will rank. So the on-site SEO is the crucial starting point of your business. And in our website design services, every website that we build, we make sure that the on-site optimization is done properly based on the basically the keywords and the area that the client want to target. Now, if you want to take it to the next level, then you should look for an SEO company that does off-site SEO, or if you have a team in your company that's willing to create blogs about the services or products you have and publish them on the website, create videos and publish them on social media and link back to your website, create posts. So you can basically push your website to rank faster by doing all these. PPC, which is pay-per-click campaign. Now the SEO, the advantage of SEO that you will rank on the first page. Once you rank on the first page, you're not paying per click. You're only paying the company that's the SEO company to rank you there. The monthly fee, and after a while, you're not gonna need them anymore because it becomes like a snowball. The more traffic that comes to your website, the better SEO becomes. It depends where you're located. Now, oh, sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, the negative part of search engine optimization that it takes time to get there. So it takes about 4 to 6 months to reach the first page, and that timing really depends on the competition. Like if I'm targeting and the keywords that you want to target and the area that you're targeting. If I'm targeting a keyword like web design worldwide, it's gonna take me a long time to rank on the first page, and a lot of effort and money to get it done, because now I'm competing with the world and it's very competitive keyword. But if I'm competing for website design in let's say Los Angeles, it's gonna be a lot easier. But it still needs some work. So that's the thing. SEO takes 4 to 6 months to rank on the first page and start seeing results. And it needs basically upfront expenses. So you have to pay a company to get it done, for the next 4 to 6 months before reaping any results. Now the PPC, the good thing about it is that you can get results right away. And now Google, they offer you free setup and maintenance to your campaign. So all you have to do, call Google, just search online for Google Ads. Excuse me. Search online for Google Ads, call the number and tell them I want to set up a PPC campaign. And they'll ask you a few questions. They'll ask you, okay, what's your website? What's your budget? You can set your own budget. You can start with $100 per month, $500, $1,000, $10,000. It's up to you. And they'll ask you what are the services that you provide, which area you want to target, and then you assess. So and they'll set up the account manager where he'll call you and set up a meeting with you every 2 weeks or however you like to go over the results with you, because they can track everything. They can track and you can assess. Some people they tell me, well, I don't want to spend $500 a month on marketing or PPC. But the way I explain it to them, it's not about how much you spend. It's about the return on investment. If you spend $500 and in return you get $1,000 worth of net profit, then you made $500. So you really didn't spend $500. You made $500. So the key is to get the return on investment right. So if I would always start with $500, $200 to $500 budget to test the return on investment. And then you can assess. If you see that it's not working, then you can maybe explore different options. If you see that it's working very well and you can take more business, then you can increase your budget. Social media ads, they're also a good way. The pay-per-click here, how much it is, it really depends on the line of business. For example, real estate, insurance, their cost per click, their average cost per click on Google is very high. You're talking about $40, $50 per click. It doesn't matter if the customer calls you after that or not. They charge you per click. Other businesses, it can be as low as 5 cents and 10 cents. Because and Google basically change the price based on how many companies are competing for that keyword in that area. So obviously real estate and the lead value. So real estate and insurance, they're very competitive business. The lead value is very big. So it's going to be a lot more expensive to do pay-per-click ads for a real estate company comparing to a plumber, for example. But they'll be able to give you like more accurate information on it. Social media ads are a lot cheaper, and I'm sure you're familiar with them. Basically, all the sponsored ads that you see between the videos on social media or between posts, and it's easy also to create. But there's a lot of marketing company that can get it done for you. The advantage of the pay-per-click here, before I finish this one, is that it will give you results right away. Like if you set up a campaign today, within 24 to 48 hours, you will start getting calls if it's set up the right way with the right budget. Now the disadvantage is that you always have to keep paying per click. It's not like SEO. You can get unlimited traffic for the same amount that you're paying monthly. But this will get your business started. At least, you start making money, and then you can invest in SEO. That's the way I would do it. I mean, depending on the budget. I mean, some businesses, no, they have a good marketing budget, so I would start with each one of these. The social media ads, they're cheaper than the pay-per-click. They help you in SEO, and they also help you in generate leads. So it's another good way. And also, there's the influencer marketing. And this really depends on what niche you're in, what type of business, what type of product. This probably works better for products. So if I'm selling shoes as an example, it would be good for me to find YouTubers or people on Instagram or TikTokers that have millions of followers, and ask them, hey, how much you're gonna charge me to mention my e-commerce website or my shoe product that I'm listing. And keep in mind that marketing is all about trial and error. I mean, you wanna see somebody that's have decent amount of fans, and he's not asking for too much, and try, and then calculate, see how much was the return on investment. And it's easy to do that because whenever he mentioned your product, usually if people gonna buy, they're gonna buy within the first few days, if not the first few hours. So it's easy to assess how it goes. So in my videos, I always like to quote certain things that I like myself. The quote of the day is, have no fear of perfection. You're never gonna reach it. And this actually helped me when I started the business over 10 years ago, because I was spending way too much time on getting things done. But I realized something, that it's not about being perfect, especially in design. It's always, whenever you build something, I'm building this website or this video for you, for the people that's watching it. So it's not as important for me to like the video and to make me feel that this video is perfect. But what's important, that the person who's watching this video, that they get the value that I'm trying to give them. So that's what's important. And of course, like everybody else, I'm gonna ask you, please, if you like the video, to like, share, and subscribe. This is my first video on my YouTube channel, so on a weekly basis, I'm gonna be adding a lot more videos, basically covering everything that we discussed so far. This will help you if you're planning to build your own website, or if you have somebody that's building it for you. But if you're not going to do that, and if you need help in building your own website or redesigning your existing website, we offer free consultation. You can visit us at websitesmakeover.com. My name is Adam, and thank you very much for your time.